Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new poem, that is The Schoolboy. Actually, this poem is related to your daily school life, and in these days the students are not able to go to school, and you are also stuck at your homes and you are compelled to take the online classes. But this story is at the time when the students used to go to school. Okay, and in this story we are going to study about a boy who doesn't want to go to school on a summer morning. Okay, now we will try to understand the first paragraph there. The schoolboy in the poem is not a happy child. What make him unhappy? Why does he compare himself to a bird that live in a cage, or a plant that withers when it should blossom? Okay, so we will try to find out why that boy is unhappy and why he compare himself to a caged bird or a plant which is withered when it is blossom. Okay, now there it the first stanza. I love to rise in a summer morn when the birds sing on every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn, and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what sweet company. The speaker in this poem is a young boy who is very happy, very joyful, and likes to awake in the fresh and delightful summer morning. After that, he is describing the beauty of summer morning, like the birds are chirping on the trees, the sound of horn blown by a hunter from a distance, and the sweet song which was sung by the skylark. Okay, and he is telling, oh, what sweet company, means he is enjoying the company of nature, where he can heard he can hear the sweet sound of birds and the sound of a horn which was blown by the hunter and the sweet sound of skylark. Now we will try to understand the second one. But to go to school in a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in shame and dismay. Now it is a matter of utmost disappointment for the speaker to attend the school in such a sweet summer morning, where actually he wishes to enjoy the delight of the summer. He did not want to go to school. He is tired and even puzzled under the strict supervision of his teacher. There is a phrase, under a cruel eye outworn, which refers to the eyes of a teacher that actually tires the boy. Instead of enjoying the pleasure of summer morning, the child has to compulsorily attend the school, where he spends his day in a boring room and in a sadness. Now, next one. In the first stanza, we came to know that the boy was very happy and enjoying the company of nature. But in the second stanza, when he came to know that he has to go to school and he has to stay there under the supervision of the teacher, so now he become very sad. Now the third stanza, then at times I drooping sit and spend many an anxious hour Nor in my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning bower, worn through with the dreary shower. In this stanza, the child expresses his tiredness, fatigue. He sits unwillingly in the sea of his room or of his classroom, which is very boring. The child keeps under control the attack on him by the harsh personality. We can call it that personality a teacher, and he also hear some of the unnecessary lectures, and this time he want a freedom. Okay, he want a freedom in the class, but that was not possible. There is a phrase like this one, the learner's bower. Okay, the learner's bower refers to the garden where the child can be taught in an interesting way only if nature accompanies him instead of the school teacher. Means he don't want to be study, or he don't want to learn in the school classroom. He want to learn from the natural things. He want to learn from the nature and not from the teacher. Okay, now next one. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wings and forget his youthful spring? Now, this is the most important stanza. Again, the poet compares a child with a bird. According to his views, according to the views of the child, a bird which is born very cheerful, which is born to sing, and which is fun loving, can never sing sweet songs if that will be caged. We have already seen that example in the lesson Princess September, when the when the bird was caged. He was unable to sing, he was not feeling well, so he was unable to sing the beautiful songs. So that is the same thing he is telling here, that a bird who is born very cheerful and fun loving can never sing a sweet song if that will be caged. Similarly, a child, if remained under the umbrella of annoying fear and tension in the school, the distrust of his teacher, can never enjoy the natural instincts of joy and playfulness. Means he want to say that he want to be get free in the school. He don't want any restrictions by his teacher and by the other teachers also. Okay, so he want to be get free. That is why he compares himself with a bird who was always born to be cheerful, born to be free, and born to be fun loving. If that word, if that bird will be caged, then he would not be able to sing. So that is the same thing he is telling, that if the boy will be captured inside the school boundary, or if the boy will be supervisioned by the teacher, then he cannot be grown up and he cannot learn the things whatever he can do in an natural environment or in an free environment. Indeed, a world full of rigid codes of discipline will ruthlessly take away the beautiful springs of a person's life. If a person will be restricted his spring life, okay, his joyful life, his happiness will be taken away, and the boy will not be able to learn. And if the boy will be sad, if he will not be a joyful person, then definitely he is not going to learn anything in this environment. Now next one. This is the fifth one. O father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped, or their joy in the springing day by sorrow and cares. In these lines, the boy complains to the highest authority, to father and to his mother. If a budding child, if a growing child is picked and swept off in the early stage of life, in an ocean of sorrow, in an ocean of dismay, and if he will be captured, if he will be supervisioned in a very small age where there is no one to care for, if unhappiness crushes the sensitive plants, beautiful and newborn birds, summer can never be a joyful one. If his freedom will be taken away, if his childhood, if his childhood will be taken away, then he cannot grow as a perfect person, or he cannot learn anything in this sorrowful environment. Now, in this last two lines, he again asking some questions to the parents or teachers. How shall the summer rise in joy, or the summer fruit appears? Means, if a student will be restricted inside the boundary of the school, then how the summer rise in joy? Summer rise in joy means how the learning will be happen, how the freedom will be given to the student, and how a joyful atmosphere will be created if a student will be captured inside the room or under the supervision. Or how the summer fruit appear means how the learning will be shown, the learning will be done. That is the question he is asking to his parents. Now there are some word meanings. You will write down these ones. So I am going to summarize the theme of this poem again. As you know, as we have studied, the poem, the schoolboy discuss a boy's, just a minute, complaint to his parents that he is very much happy in the natural environment. He want to learn from this environment. He doesn't want to go to school because he will be observed and supervised by the teachers. And then he again tells that if someone will be supervisioned by the others, his joy will be taken away and his freedom will be restricted, then there will be no learning at all. That is the thing he wanted to tell his parents. The boy is looks like that he is very much terrified with the teachers, that he doesn't want to go near the teacher or in the school compound. He thinks that the restrictions will be imposed on him, and he again thinks that these restrictions are the hurdles. These are the actual problems for the student because he can only learn in a free environment, in a natural environment. It is very difficult for a student, for a children to learn in a restricted environment. So that is the thing the poet William Blake want to tell us with the help of this story or this poem, we can say. I hope you have understood this poem and will be able to write down the summary of it and the question answers also. Okay, now there are some of the questions we will discuss here. The first question: find 3 or 4 words or phrases in the stanza 1 that reflect the child's happiness and joy. Okay, actually, there were too many things like songs of birds and the skylark, the sound of hunter's horn, the chirping of birds. These were some of the phrases which helped him to change his mood or to make him into a world of happiness and joy. Now there is second question. In stanza 2 the mood changes. Which words oblique phrases reflect the changed mood? Actually there were too many words like this one. Yes, the first word is drives all joy away, under cruel eye outworn, and third one is sighing and dismay. These words or phrases tells us that the mood has been changed. Okay, now the question number 3: a cruel eye outworn refers to, now what is the meaning of it? The first option is the classroom which is shabby or noisy. Second one, the lessons which are difficult oblique uninteresting. The third one, the dull uninspiring life at school with lots of work and no play. Okay, so the third option will be correct. Now we will move to the fourth question. Nor sit in learning's bower, worn through with the dreary shower. Which of the following is a close paraphrase of the lines above? Means what is the closest meaning? Okay, nor can I sit in a roofless classroom when it is raining. That is not correct. Second number, nor can I learn anything at school though teachers go on lecturing and explaining. Yes, this option will be correct, and the last one is again wrong. So this was the poem we have completed here. I hope you have understood it. Now there is a task for you that you will write down the summary of the poem, and after that these word meanings, and then these question answers which we have discussed here. Okay, and there's a poem only for reading. You can read it and you can try to understand it. Okay, and there will be no questions, and no questions will be asked from this poem. I hope now you have understood the poem very well, and you will be able to write down the summary of the poem, and after that the question answers.